Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Famous ACME Comedy Hollywood, this is Hollywood Stands Up, the comedy nightcap. Starring Tia AYERS, Steve BENAQUIST, Lisa Best, Darren Capozzi, Rebecca LEIB, Josh McDermott, Brad Stewart, Ian Tindell, the music of LEIB, and your host, Josh PAGET. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Josh PAGET.
Thank you for coming out to Hollywood Stands Up Comedy Nightcap. Once again, let's hear it for the house band, LEIB. They're on break right now. They don't need to play it. They play for the comics. Let the comics play to you. Thanks for being here, guys. Thank you guys for being here, and thanks to the online audience tuning into home. This is a online TV show. Telling you guys in the house because people watching this at home, they already figured that much out. That's why they're watching, because they're here to see funny comedians. I'm the host, not one of those funny comedians. Not one of those. Guys, I don't know if you like to eat food, but I sure do. So I hope that you can relate to this. But does anybody else just absolutely love Olive Garden? There's no. See, you guys don't love Olive Garden because you're like, oh, it's not Italian food. But that's why I love it so much, right? Because they're always like making up stuff, right? All their ads are like, it's pasticcetti days at Olive Garden. It's like, pasticcetti? I don't know what that means. They're like, we took rigatoni and stuffed lasagna in it and then wrapped it up into a giant ravioli, covered it with Alfredo sauce. It's pasticcetti and it's at Olive Garden. It's like, I don't think that's real. You're making that stuff up? Because it's always like a season. As if pasta is in seasons, right? It's always like, it's pasta days. It's lasagna fest. It's spaghetti, something else. I don't think you need to do that. They're always bragging that they know how to cook Italian food. You don't see that with any other restaurant, right? They're always like, every year we send one chef to Italy where he learns authentic Italian cooking. Then that chef comes back and tells 2 chefs. And those 2 chefs tell 2 more chefs. And those 4 chefs tell 2 more chefs. And pretty soon, every one of our restaurants has at least one person who's heard of Italian cooking. I love that. I love going there because it's like it's all you can eat. It's an all-you-can-eat place, right? It's the never-ending soup, salad, and breadsticks. And not only is it never-ending, but you don't even have to get up and go to the buffet. Like if you go to like one of those Chinese food buffets, like you have to get up and you're like calculating how many trips you have to make and like trying to load up your plate. You don't have to do that. They just keep bringing you bread, and they don't care. They don't care. They're just like, we're gonna keep bringing you bread. It's me versus you. It's you versus you're in a duel with the waiter. They're like, oh, how much more bread can you eat? That's right. We'll bring you another basket of bread. We've already brought you the check. You want dessert? Then some more bread. Bread. Salad? No more salad, thanks. We don't want this iceberg lettuce with Italian dressing you call a salad with one giant olive that you have to split between the whole table. Ridiculous. I think the reason why I love going to Olive Garden is because we weren't allowed to go there as a kid. My dad abhorred Olive Garden. That means he hated it. He hated Olive Garden, and the reason why he said he hated Olive Garden, the reason why he hated Olive Garden is because he said, they're just trying to sell you wine. All you can eat breadsticks, that's a deal I can handle, but then they bring out a wine menu and we get the game that's going on. Okay, we know what you're trying to do, sell wine. Yeah, it's a restaurant. Most restaurants try and sell you more food. I don't think that's a big deal. Olive Garden crowd, how about Jack in the Box? It's fine. I love Jack in the Box. Again, not good food, but good salesmanship of the food. Because I don't know if you've noticed this about the Jack in the Box menu, but they have adjectives in front of their food that don't describe the food, just describe how awesome they think it is. It's always like the deluxe sourdough sandwich, or the extreme sausage biscuit, the ultimate cheeseburger. It's like, I don't know what's on, how about like a turkey avocado sandwich, like that way I know what's on it. No, it's just the ultimate cheeseburger. It's the end-all, be-all of cheeseburgers. Scientists believe that the universe is constantly expanding, so if you look backwards over time, it would be constantly shrinking until at the beginning of time it was just an infinite dense ball of mass, and then before that it's pure energy, and then before that, ultimate cheeseburger. The only thing that survives a nuclear holocaust is cockroaches, and when all those cockroaches die, what's left? Ultimate cheeseburger. My friend back home tells me, you'd never make it as a Marine. He was a Marine. Like, you'd never make it in the Marines. Like, we're moving stuff, and I'm panting heavily. He's like, you'd never make it in the Marines. He always reminds me of that. Like, I know. That's why I didn't join the Marines. I don't have to brag about it. You'd never make it in the Marines. I'm barely making it as a comic. Okay? You'd never make it in the Marines. It really bugs me. He didn't make it. He got kicked out because he got a knee injury. It's like, you didn't make it in the Marines. You're the one who didn't. I was smart enough not to try. Okay? I told the Marines, look, I'm patriotic. I could, play the tuba in the Marine marching band. And they're like, you still have to run a 6-minute mile and do 13 push-ups. Which, and I was like, that's really arbitrary fitness. I don't know what's going on. The running I understand, but the 13 push-ups was kind of interesting. In 90 seconds. In 90 seconds, I could make a latte and then get back to the push-ups later. Topical news. I got 4 topical jokes that I wrote for an Access Hollywood bit that never aired, so I'm going to try them on you guys tonight. The first thing I want to talk about is the tragic news that happened this week. Yeah, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. That just brought to an end everything that was hip and cool about our generation. I'm sure you know the news I'm talking about. Whitney got picked up for a full season by NBC. Just killed everything cool. Shouldn't do that kind of joke. I would go out and audition if they asked me to audition. You know, I shouldn't make fun of that show. I just think that the laugh track is a little bit unbelievable. I think the Scooby-Doo laugh track was more believable. Because it's a cartoon. Did you guys hear that Justin Bieber rented out the Staples Center so that he and Selena Gomez could watch a private screening of the Titanic? You girls think that's romantic, but all the guys are knowing exactly what he's doing. It's a coward's move. If you're going to try the old hole in the bottom of the popcorn bin, okay, at least try to do it in a crowded theater. When you're renting it out, so it's just you and your girlfriend, it's a little creepy. Someone just asked, what's that trick? I think, you guys hear about Ashton and Demi Moore? You guys thought that would last forever. It's eternal love, but no longer. You know what she said when she found out that Ashton had been cheating on her? Am I on Punk'd? It's the greatest episode of Punk'd ever, because it's been off the air for 3 years. See the dedication he has to that show? He revives it for the greatest Punk'd of all. Demi Moore and us, because we thought that love was eternal. Here's a cheap one. The Playboy show on whatever network it was canceled after 2 episodes. They canceled it, the Playboy series. Can you believe that? I guess you could say that when it comes to Playboy, nothing really lasts that long anymore, right? Hugh Hefner's old. Hugh Hefner joke. He's old. He's happily married though, so that's good. And she's younger than me. Guys, our first comedian is a friend of mine, friend of the show, friend of the band's, friend of yours, soon to be. He regularly performs upstairs at room 5. Please welcome to the stage, Darren Capozzi.
Yes. Hey, everybody. You can say hi back. It's cool. I'm going to talk back right now. Thank you. 3 people saying hi. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Go for these guys, everybody. And my boys, my buddies, my pals. Thank you. Keep that going. I'm in a bad mood. It's just, I started a new job. Started working at a homeless shelter. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called Barnes & Noble. Fucking place of shit boxes. Anyone from the East Coast? East Coasters here? Nice, yeah. I just got back from Jersey. I was hanging out with this girl today, and she was like, "Oh my God, it's so cold here now, and everything's freezing in California. I can't stand it. It's cold." I was like, I grew up in New Jersey. It doesn't get cold here, guys, right? Do you guys want to know how cold it gets in the East Coast? This is how cold it gets in the East Coast. You'll drop your house keys in the snow and be like, "Fuck it, I'll get a new house. I don't give a shit." It's because it's cold, folks, and I dropped them in the snow. I just got back from my 10-year high school reunion, and I was just hanging out with my old friends, and I forgot that Italians from New Jersey, they can't remember any specific important date in their life unless their sports team did something that year. So I'm hanging out at the reunion. I go to my buddy Vinny. I'm like, "So how'd you meet Vanessa?" He's like, "How to meet Vanessa? Shit, let's see. It was Game 7 World Series, Yankees versus Arizona. Mariano was having the fucking hardest time closing. Next thing I know, it's a bloop single over his head. Bada bing, bada bang. Arizona wins the championship. I'm in a strip club. That's where I met Vanessa." Saturday Night Live stole one of my jokes past Saturday. And they ruined it. And I just, I'm just making this is not a joke. I'm going to do it for you. Okay? Any Bruce Springsteen fans here? Bruce Springsteen fans? Was that like a real clap? It was like a laugh track clap. Bruce Springsteen. I've been to 70 of his shows, okay? The best thing about him winning the Golden Globe, that was the first time in my life I've ever seen that man finish a sentence that made sense. Now at each show, in between songs, you think you're going to get like this gem or this insight, but he just tells these untold, useless stories in between his songs. It's like he comes out and he's like, "Hey, what's going on out there, LA? You guys like house parties?" "Well, the boss likes house parties." "Hey, one time I went to this house party and ate a grilled cheese sandwich. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then one time at a show, he got like really weird and creepy. He's like, "The next song, it means a lot to me. I want to tell you about it. Wrote this song back in 1988 when I was torn in Alabama. You see, when I was in Alabama, well, I killed myself a Chinaman 5, 7, all the days." Saturday Night Live did that this Saturday. Ben Stiller stole it. Can you believe it? Did anyone care? No one cares. You know what I also can't stand, folks? The singers that show us the notes while they're singing mid-set, you know? It's like, "You're so beautiful in every single way. Words can't bring me down. Whoa, 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 yeah. Whoa, 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 yeah. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, 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 yeah. Down." It's like, Christina, we're not retarded. Anyone got tattoos? Yeah. Thank you, one person. I think tattoos are getting out of hand. I think people are confusing tattoos with journaling. Used to be simple back in the day. I was watching that show Inc. and this big weirdo was like, "Oh, what's this on my side? That's a picture of the Golden Girls season 1 through 5. Back here, that's the word beach because I go to fucking beach on the weekends. This here's my grandmother. She died in the 80s. That's why it says, I ain't afraid of no ghost." I love Chinese food, folks. I love it so much. Every time I go to a new town, I always got to go right to the Chinese restaurant. But in every town, it's always the same. When you do ordering takeout, they're always so nice to you when they take the order, but so mean to each other. It's like, you walk in, you're like, "Hey, can I get some chicken and broccoli, some brown fried rice?" They're like, "Oh yeah, chicken, broccoli, brown rice is a good order. You a good looking guy. I'll throw in some wontons." Hold on a second. Then you're like, "Oh my God, I forgot to order a soda. You might kill him." I wrote these jokes today. Do you guys want to hear them? Okay, thanks. They're awful. 50 Cent just got back. This is awful. 50 Cent just got back. 50 Cent just got back from tour in Europe. Had a horrible turnout, folks. They figured out why, because after the conversion rate, he was known as 0.2 euro. Keeper? No? One person's like, "I'm going to give it to Ben Stiller." That dick. Like, comedy's hard, you know? It's like, because they steal it. But it's okay. Anyway, here's another one, right? You guys see Sherlock Holmes? Sherlock Holmes 2 is coming out. Did you see the first movie? You know what I really liked about the first movie? How faithful it was to all the kickboxing, remember in the books growing up. Is that a keeper? Yeah. One person really loved that. All right, I'm gonna get out of here on this. I'm single. I've been recently doing some online dating, okay? And I met this girl, and it was she's perfect on paper. We met, and we had decided to have this coffee meet and greet. First thing out of her mouth, she walks up and she goes, "Oh my God, seriously? You were so skinny. You're so much skinnier than your picture. You were like manorexic." I was like, "Well, you got no tits. What's that make you, bulimic?" But she's hot and I'm shallow, so I continued the date. So we're walking and talking. We pass this McDonald's. I'm like, "Yeah, let's go in there real quick. I heard they got." She's like, "Oh my God, seriously? Don't tell me you go in there. That's such the deal breaker." I was like, "Well, I think the deal breaker was when you call me manorexic." But I continued the date. So I was like, "No, I don't go in there. That's screw up, man. I don't do that." She's like, "Seriously? What's even on that menu?" I'm like, "Oh, hamburger, cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, quarter pounder, double quarter pounder with cheese, Big Mac, bacon tasty with cheese, filet fish, McChicken, McRib, premium chicken classic sandwich, grilled and crispy, premium chicken club sandwich, grilled and crispy, ranch snack wrap, grilled and crispy, honey mustard snack wrap, grilled and crispy, southern style crispy chicken sandwich plain." Half meal hamburger, half meal cheeseburger, half meal 4-piece chicken McNuggets, Mighty Kids meal 6-piece, Mighty Kids meal double cheeseburger. I mean, there's French fries, small, medium, large chicken nuggets for $6.20 piece, you know. So we can get healthy. We can get a salad, premium chicken classic salad, grilled crispy, ranch salad, grilled crispy, bacon salad, grilled crispy or plain. But when it's hot out, I like to get a drink: Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, High C, Dasani water, OJ coffee, and ice. You know, but if you get up if you get up there before 10 o'clock, you can get the breakfast: English muffin, sausage muffin, biscuit, bacon, egg, chips, hotcakes, with scrambled eggs. Sometimes I got a sweet tooth and like to get some dessert: fruit and yogurt parfait, kitty cone, apple dippers, chocolate chip and thick shake, vanilla chip and thick shake, strawberry chip and thick shake, McFlurry, ham McFlurry, cookie, apple pie, McDonald's cookie. Who's on that fucking menu? She looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, seriously? You worked at McDonald's?" I was like, "No, Burger King. Whopper, double Whopper, triple Whopper." Thanks, guys. That's my time.
I'm loving it.
Keep it going for Dr. Jose.
I'm loving it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next comic, you saw him last night on Conan. Please welcome to the stage, Steve BENAQUIST.
All right, thank you, band. How about a hand for the band, everybody? I am Steve BENAQUIST, and I came here to win. What does that mean for you? You're gonna lose. All right, and that's not just something I say at shows, it's also my prelude to lovemaking. So, where does that leave us? I'm concerned about the state of things in this country. Nobody reads anymore. Nobody reads. I read on a volunteer basis at a local school. You know, just through the fence. I also read for pleasure. I'm fond of celebrity autobiographies. To prepare for the inevitable. And let me tell you, I can't get enough of Deborah Messing's messing myself. I'm concerned about civility in this country. I saw a billboard that said, "Go back to China." Really, China Airlines? Not cool, not cool. I am Steve BENAQUIST, and one thing you'll know about Steve BENAQUIST is that I am fond of relentless branding of myself. I learned it from Tyler Perry, or as I like to call him, Steve BENAQUIST Tyler Perry. Not fond of generalizations, but I will say this, the women that I've dated have been by and large, mostly. I don't like to argue. I hate to fight with my loved one, and I think that's universal. We all hate that, but it's all worth it, isn't it? For that sweet, sweet makeup, HJ. You know? Every stroke says I love you. And I don't know if I know a lot about women. I've learned pretty much everything I know from lonely old uncle. who taught me a couple of things. Women be bitches. To him, that was just synonyms. It's like pipes be tubes, simians be primates, women be bitches. And he also told me that it takes two to have non-consensual sex, which is technically true. I mean, it does. Because even if you masturbated against your own will, it'd still be just one person. You know what I'm saying? You know, I used to be a singer-songwriter, and I used to like to tell the audience the story behind each song. And, you know, jokes are the same way. They all have a story behind them. So this next one I wrote a long time ago, about 10 years back. I was hightailing it in a 95 Volvo station wagon from Edmonton, Alberta, with a load of hot Furbies blocking my rear view and the trunk, headed south of the border to make some coin. Here's the joke. There was a magic store in my neighborhood growing up, and it had fake dog crap in the window. What's so magic about that? This next joke I wrote on 9/11, 2008. No, it's too sad. It's too sad. It's also too soon. You know, if that apple a day thing were true, Steve Jobs would still be alive. Am I right? Hashtag too soon. Would I be saying hashtag if it weren't for him? Who knows? I like how he gets credit for pretty much everything that ever happened on a computer. It's like there were a few other people, Bill Gates. You know, there were some, 5,000 programmers working for him and feeding him ideas. But he's cool. I've only ever owned Macs. Who's with me? Who's against me, goddammit? Steve Benequist tire, apparently. Still working the kinks out of that one. Also, the legality. Now that we're online, I have no idea how Tyler Perry feels about me using his name to sell myself. But hey, there's no bad publicity, they say. Bear with me. Steve Benequist. Welcome back to Jay's After Midnight here on 89.2. It's the downhill side of 2 a.m. and that was George Benson playing Who What? I'm your host, Peebo Whiteley, and I'd like to say thank you to the Nation of Islam Compton chapter and say, yes, I will be there at your barbecue Saturday with a case of smooth Coors Light. And yes, I am Caucasian. I'd like to remind my listeners that we are in the middle of a fundraiser for Hope for Dollars, a charity dedicated to the creation and funding of other charities, to whom your information will be given upon your generous donation. And we have several premiums, different levels of giving to reward you for your generosity. For just $5 a month, you can get a mug with the Jay's After Midnight logo on it. But for $10 a month, you can get a tote bag with a picture of the mug with the Jay's After Midnight logo on it. And for $15 a month, you'll get that same tote bag with a blank t-shirt neatly folded and put inside with the picture of the mug with the Jay's After Midnight logo on it. But for my money, the finest premium we have at just $300 is 2 tickets to an evening of wine, moonlight, and yes. That's coming up on November 12th, the Valentine's Day of Fall, on the Starlight deck of the Queen Mary. The wine will be provided by Benicios of Belize, including all the finest wines grown in that swampy Caribbean nation. The moonlight will be provided by the Man and the Moon, and the Jays will be provided by some of the finest non-union Jays musicians in the tri-state area. Now, with a special guest appearance from St. Mary's Middle School, the all-tween a cappella group No Backsies. Now, I'd like to return to some music, but my engineer Lyle indicates that all 28 lines are down and dark. So let me give you that number once again. It's 1-800-JAYS, Jayyuzh, Jays. And while we're waiting for some calls to come in, let me tell you a little more about this evening. If you have mundane, middle-of-the-road notions of romance like I do, then this is the evening for you. Let me tell you, if you're Peebo's girl, then on Valentine's Day you will get a single red rose and a Whitman's chocolate sampler. And an evening of sex that's a little rougher than you used to, or okay with, or that you'd expect from this smooth, smooth voice. Now, Lyle tells me that the CD player's jammed, so even though I'd like to go back, I'll have to tell you a little more about wine, moonlight. Yes. This is not Bud Light, Daylight, and rap rock. This is wine, moonlight, and yes. This is not moonshine, overcast, and bluegrass. This is wine, moonlight, yes. This is not the creepy glow of a cave fish, absinthe, and theremin music. No. This is wine, moonlight, and... Oh, well, Lyle tells me by the kick under the table that the CD player's up and we have one call. Ask me what the song will be. No pledge from that caller. Shame on you, shame on you. I'll be playing Dizzy Gillespie's Salt Peanuts, and I hope you'll enjoy it. The phone lines will still be open. Please dial 1-800-JAYUZZH. Yes. Thank you and good night.
All right, I do have a mundane sense of romance, which is why I'm on online dating. Has anyone ever tried that? Anybody in the audience? Of course you have. It's okay. You don't like to admit it. But I've found, in case you decide to go on it, I've done it a lot, and I've found that there are certain words that you can include in a message to a girl on an online dating site that will trigger a response better than if you just write someone, then they won't respond. Like if you say, hey, hello, how are you doing? They don't want that. Women don't want that. They do not respond to that. But you will increase your rate of return 27% if you include the word awesome in your message. I guarantee it. I'll go home tonight and I'll write 3 girls, and 2 of them I'll include awesome, and 1 I won't include awesome, and those 2 will write me back, and the other one won't. Scientific fact. The other words you can include are atheist and sorry. So now every single message I write to any girl on an online dating site is, I'm an awesome atheist, sorry. The dates roll in. They do. It's true fact. I'm not supposed to look at the band. Can't see them on camera. It just looks like me doing lineup. Please line up for telling that joke. Ladies and gentlemen, our next comedian has written for the E! Network, the Style Network, and Lifetime. Please welcome Tia Ayers.
Yay! What's up? What's up? Come on, guys. What's up? There you go. You know. I love doing that. I love people's minds when I do that, because they're like, has she been doing that for 10 years? Did she see that Super Bowl commercial back in '99 and go, I found me? No, I just decided a couple of years ago, it's time to bring it back. You know, it's an awesome thing. So I do it all the time. Anybody I see, it's gotten a little bit out of hand. A few weeks ago, I answered the phone. And instead of it being one of my friends on the other line going, what's up for 5 minutes, it was just a man on the phone going, is Tia Ayers there? And I was totally just embarrassed by it. And I'm not in debt, I'm not on the run. I just was like, she's not here right now, may I take a message? And then he's like, yeah, this is the California Unemployment Office calling about her benefits. And I was like, oh my God, this is why I'm unemployed. Because no one's they're not gonna hire someone if they're answering the phone. What's up? Maybe Budweiser will hire me if they bring that back. But they're not bringing that back. Most people, when I do that, they think it's from Scary Movie. They think I'm referencing Scary Movie. And I don't like that thing you do from Scary Movie. I'm like, come on, guys. We're talking about a short film made by Charles Stone III, who put it into film festivals. It was seen by Budweiser, but it won a Clio Award, and then it was later inducted into the National Advertising Hall of Fame. Let's have some fucking respect for this campaign, okay? It's not Scary Movie. I wouldn't just reference a stupid movie back in 2002. This is ridiculous. Anyway, back to that moment when I'm like, oh my God, because if you're on unemployment and you get a phone call from them, you are not there, it's over. Your benefits are done. You're not getting paid anymore. You can't call them back. So I just had to think fast, and I was like, hold on, let me see if she's still here. Put the phone down, physically left the room. Like, I just have to be a different person. What am I going to do? Still like, hi, this is Tia. That was my sister. She didn't know I was still here. We went with Happy Desperate Girl, in case you acting students are taking notes. That was the character I chose in that moment. What I thought I wasn't was that, guys. I've been looking for employment at Borders, which was going out of business at the time. I've been looking for employment at Linens and Things, which was already out of business. I was on the phone with him for 10 minutes. It's recorded. It's on record in Sacramento somewhere. And a week and a half later, I got a check in the mail for $850. That is what it took for me to become a paid actress. I'm going to get that for my reel. I'm going to get hired in the next Budweiser commercials. Happy Desperate Girl, I think. So every time I want to be left alone, I just put on a green pea shirt and carry around a clipboard. Be like, you want to talk about the environment? No, good. I don't want to talk at all. Fuck off. Which is really weird since I'm holding the microphone. I don't want to talk at all, ever. I used to have a job, guys, before I went on unemployment. And I hated it so much, I was thinking about calling in raped. And then I remembered we only get 5 rape days a year. And I had already used all of mine. That is a really shitty company that only gives you 5 rape days. Because it makes the 6th one feel like it's my fault. I'll call them up and be like, I'm sick. They're like, you were raped, get in here. There's only so many copies you can make, people. I hope you feel me on that one. So my friend Sarah, she was married, and she was having some problems with her relationship, so she was like, should I break up with my husband? She asked me, I don't know why. But I was like, okay, I know what. We'll go on Google. So I went Google, divorce advice. The first thing that came back said, should I get a divorce? Take this and other fun quizzes on lifestories.com. Other fun quizzes include, how much is my baby worth? Should I shoot my kneecaps off? And what Nazi war criminal am I? And I'm Dr. Mengele, so I was like, sit back, I'll cut you open, Sarah. She's like, Tia, focus. I was like, oh, right. So we went through the quiz, like, how many bruises do you have, blah, blah, blah. Get to the end of it, it says, if you want your results, just put in your email address and we'll send them to you. And she was like, I can't do that. My husband is always checking my email. So I was like, okay, I'll give you a test. Did you take the quiz? She's like, you were here. Yes, I took the quiz. There's your answer. If you are online taking a quiz to see if you should get a divorce, you should get a divorce, despite the fact that an online quiz told you it was a good idea to get married in the first place. And Sarah was me. R.I.P. marriage, 2002 to 2000 whenever. I had a really traumatic experience happen to me once. Can you believe it? Oh, it seems so normal, right? I was 6 years old. It was 1984. You can do the math. I'm 33, whatever. It was the summer. And of course, for you history buffs, the summer of 1984 was when the movie Gremlins came out. And I was really traumatized because I was the only kid not allowed to see this movie. And then I was invited over to my friend Allison's house to play with her and a little redheaded kid named Dennis. And when I got there, what do they want to play? They want to play Gremlins. And I was like, guys, I don't know the movie. And they're like, it's fine. You just need to know a couple of things. You know, we go outside. We're going down the slide on the swing set. All these cute things that the Gremlins were doing. I'm thinking, why won't my parents let me see this movie? And then Dennis, in his 1980 short shorts, he gets up on top of the slide, and he's like, now we're going to Wienerland. I was like, this is a weird movie. He's like, you can't go to Wienerland. Do you know why? And I was like, no, I have no idea. Why can't I go to Wienerland? Because you don't have one of these. Bam. 6-year-old freckled penis in my face. I had never seen one before in my entire life. I just had instant tears running down my face. I just like sprinted home, and I've never gotten over it to this day. Now, when I see a penis, I don't run and cry. But there are 3 things that I will not do to them. I will not get them wet. I will not shine a light on them. And I will not feed them after midnight. Hey guys, I want to play you a quick little song here. If that's okay with you guys. Is that okay with you? I don't want to upstage you or anything, but I hope it's not bad to put the microphone down like an American flag. I'm really sorry. Okay, I got it. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody into your ears.
Yeah, that's right. LEIB claimed the palette after that soundtrack from Deliverance, played by Mouth on the guitar. That was AYERS. We love her. Our next comedian has written articles for Ranker.com that have over 4 million views. So check out that website after the show tonight. Please welcome Ian TINDELL.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. I never know what to do, like, in the middle of people playing for me. Thanks so much for applauding. That's an awesome thing about being a comedian, is the fact that you guys will applaud before I've done anything at all. That's great. The only thing you know about me is that I have a name and a human figure, and you guys are already on board. So that's... I could leave right now and have one of the best shows I've ever had in my life. That would be fucking awesome. So, you know, you guys have been a good crowd tonight. Give it up for yourselves for being yourselves. You gave it up for me for being me. Yeah, that's awesome. Here's a demographic that isn't reached much. Give it up for yourselves if you hate giving it up for yourselves. How about that? No? Okay. No one ever applauds for that. I don't know why. Shoot, let's go. Doctors. I'm just going to shout out my premises tonight. I don't know. Fuck transitions. Doctors. I hate going to the doctor. I really do. But here's the reason I hate it. Because I hate not getting cool diagnoses. Like, ever. I never get a cool diagnosis anymore at the doctor. It's never, well, dear God, your cells are dividing at an extraordinary rate. It would appear that by the end of the day, your penis will be 10 inches longer. You're like, oh, wow, geez. Doc, what is that? Is that like cancer? Or no, that's not cancer. That's just awesome. High five. And then I high five. and then I just have a thumbs up on my hands for the rest of the day, because that's way better than hearing, the discoloration on your torso is most likely due to a reaction to zinc that'll be $250,000. Like, all right, well then I have to go home and get rid of all my zinc and zinc-based products, and that's just lame, because now my penis will never be longer, because zinc is what makes your penis grow. That's just a lie. Please don't rub a battery on your penis, guys. That would be, I don't need to be known as that guy. All right, the future. That's how I transition. I just realized this the other day. I had a revelation that Back to the Future Part 2, the future in that, we're 4 years away from that. Like, that took place in 2015, and we were in 2011, and the only thing we've accomplished from that movie are self-lacing shoes by Nike. That's it. And they don't even really fully self-lace, and there are only like 100 of them made. We don't have hoverboards. We don't have flying cars. We don't have like cool holograms at all. I mean, so if a traveler came here from the future, it would be lame. Like, I would just be embarrassed. I mean, we have fatter kids. They're harder to hurt, I guess. Yogurt is more available, and in 80 different flavors. Whoa, what? That's the future! H.G. Wells, you were wrong. Getting dumped. All right, so I just got dumped. How about that? That's a nice thing. It's weird getting dumped, especially coming out of a long-term relationship, because suddenly you have to change your life. Like there are things that, like, I have jokes I can't even tell anymore because it's hard for me. Like, I had the old standby joke. I'll share this one with you. Of hey guys, hey, what's the deal with waking up in the middle of the night from a nightmare and turning over to see the woman you love lying peacefully next to you and having that bring peace into your heart, and then you go back to sleep, and the content of your dreams has suddenly changed, and because she got to you on a subconscious level. What's the deal with that? Am I right? Who's with me? I feel like I should tell that joke with flies on my face and Sally Struthers just standing right next to me. Like, for 30 cents a day, you can help this comic get over his bullshit. If you guys want to donate after the show, go ahead. I have empty pockets. I can fill them with change. Let's see. I'm getting better, though. I am. I did go through kind of a rough patch. I would have, and it was one of those, like, I would have emotional moments at the weirdest times. Like, I had a real emotional moment in the supermarket when I was in the tampon aisle, because I looked around and I was suddenly like, I will never be inside another woman ever again. And so I got jealous and envious, and that's not what the tampon aisle should be for. It really shouldn't be for my confidence or happiness either. The only thing I should be thinking is, I'm obviously lost. This is not where I'm going to get the entire collection of The King of Queens on DVD. I think that's over there. And I would react to, friends would try to cheer me, they, avoid the conversation and just try and do bullshit things, but I'd also react to that, like, a friend come to me and just like, hey, how about the weather, huh? Oh, God. First time Peyton and I made love, there was a weather. God, there was a lot of weather that day. And you knew that. I told you that, you bastard. So I became insufferable, but this is the thing that I'm always left as a question with after breakups, and there are a lot of women in this audience, so I'm going to pose this right to you. But why do you always want to be friends after a breakup? This is a fascination every single time. With every woman I've ever dated, like, well, we can't be naked in the shower together anymore, but let's go to Yogurtland once a month and we'll just talk. We'll just talk about shit. Why? Why? If you want me to feel better about the situation, if you really do, then offer me something that'll make me feel better about it. Something cool, like a treasure map. Huh? Okay, some of you didn't get that because that's a weird thing for me to say. But come along on this journey with me and I'll tell you exactly why that's fucking awesome. All right? I would have loved for my girlfriend to come into my place and say, hey, you know how my father just disappeared a couple of days ago? Well, I was in his attic rummaging around through his stuff when I came across a strange-looking scroll. Now, upon unwrapping the scroll, I did discover upon it a map to where you say to Lincoln's Gold. Now, you know how my father was always ranting and raving about this, but we always turned our heads the other way because we thought it was a myth? Well, just as I discovered this most ancient of secrets, a group of strange men dressed all in white burst into the house shouting and yelling about the location of the map. Now, just as they came through the attic door, I leapt through the window onto the roof of my neighbor's house and rolled down to the streets below, bullets whizzing overhead, cars chasing me, dogs barking, and I came straight here. Now, we can't fuck anymore because I have some emotional issues, and you're a little needy, but it's not you, it's me. Would you like to have this? Yes, I would love to have that. That would be great. I'm crushed right now emotionally, but when I get back from my adventure, we'll talk at Yogurtland and go over shit. That's my time, guys. Ian TINDELL.
Yeah. If you didn't know, the entire series of King of Queens can be bought at Ralph's, but it is aisle 6, not aisle 4. $14.99, special this week. And sometimes I go to Ralph's, it's true, but I'm in a suit because I'm after church or after work or something, and I'm just dressed up in like a white dress shirt and a tie, and people will ask me, like I work there, like, hey, do you know where this is? Do you know where the King of Queens series is? I was like, what do you do? Like, I hate to say, like, I don't work here, because that's, I don't know. I just tell them, yeah, it's aisle 6, and 50% off all beef at the butcher shop. So go check that out. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a vegan chef. I'm not a vegan because that's gross, but I know how to chop a carrot, so put that on my resume, vegan chef. I dated a girl who was a vegan chef. It's like, you took all of cooking out of cooking. You don't need to know how to do anything. You chop a salad and a carrot, and that's all you can eat. She was also on a low-carb diet as well as being a vegan. So low carb and vegan. I didn't know what else there was to eat. I honestly didn't. That's where I'm at. Our next comedian just moved here from Florida, where she opened for Ralphie May, T.J. Miller, and John Witherspoon. Please welcome to the stage, Lisa Best.
How you guys doing? I just got into a fight with a guy in a wheelchair. I won. What happened was we got to talking about the economy, right? And he was telling me that in his opinion, the economy is not that bad. He's like, in 3 months, I haven't wasted a dime on anything I don't need or use in my life. So I was like, bullshit. You're wearing running shoes? He did not laugh. I just took the grass path out of there. It was awkward. I once did a show and there was a guy in a wheelchair in the audience, so I had like this moral ethical dilemma. Like should I tell the story? Should I not tell the story? And I told the story because like the stage was elevated. Like there was no ramp. I don't understand things. I was made fun of a lot when I was growing up. There was this one kid in kindergarten, right? He was a real jerk. Apparently he had like problems at home, but I didn't care because he was really mean. One day I just exploded on him. He was like, Lisa, you're nothing but a booger brain. I was like, Sam, Jack's not your real father. Showed him. You guys know anyone where like whenever like you're with them, all you do is just think about like how you would kill them? No? Anyone? I know this girl, right? And like whenever she talks or like breathes, I'm always just thinking I could end you. It scares me to think that the only thing stopping me from killing people is like my brain being like, hey, Lisa, don't kill people. Like, okay, thanks. But like my brain's the one that like originally suggested the idea, right? So that's a toss-up. And I'm like, and my heart's like, no, Lisa, it's me that wants you to kill. So I don't know who to trust. Everyone here is feeling very safe. Very good. I just moved here, like Josh said, I just moved here from Florida. There's a lot of interesting things about being in California. It's interesting. Like, people here have a lot of opinions about, like, abortion, gay marriage, dragons. Like, I was talking to this guy, we were talking about, like, gay marriage. I don't know how it came up, but he was telling me that in his opinion, gay people shouldn't be able to get married because he said if we let that happen, homosexuality will become a trend. Like, people were gonna become gay to fit in. Like, I didn't understand that at all. Like, some high school freshman's gonna get stuck in a locker and be like, that's it, time to start sucking cock. Popularity has a hefty price. I don't know, I don't understand things at all. I was talking to this one lady, right, and we were having a debate of some kind, and I gave her my opinion, and I was just, like, said it, and then she goes, oh, that's irrelevant. You cannot compare apples and oranges. They're both fruit. Comparison completed. You got any other brain busters for me? Also, in case you're wondering, they're both round. They both make delicious breakfast juices, and they're both served at snack time in fat camp. It just pisses me off that people use this expression, because the guy that invented it is a moron. Like, could he not think of two things that are more different than apples and oranges? Like, really? Like, just once I want someone to be like, you can't compare cheese and the letter Q. You are correct, sir. I cannot. I think what happened was the inventor of this expression, he had a traumatic experience as a young boy. I think that's what happened. His mom was packing his lunch. Instead of putting an apple, she put an orange. Let's be honest, that is a little bit upsetting. Like, especially when you're looking forward to that golden delicious. Oranges, they're a lot of work. Like, I eat one, I feel like I'm skinning a baby. It's weird. Right? But without realizing his mother's error, he takes a bite and he's like, oh, this isn't an apple, this is an orange. So he goes home, drenched in outrage and orange juice. His mom's like, I'm sorry, honey, I figured any fruit would do. Are you comparing apples and oranges? You can't compare apples and oranges. Well, young douchebag, I cracked that code, now you can. So Uncle blaming your mom, she had a tough day at the office, has no husband to rely on because he took off the moment your stupid face let out of the womb. So why don't you just sit down and eat your fucking fruit, or grow a pair and buy yourself some fruit snacks with Dunkaroos. And that's the conclusion of that joke. That took an awkward turn, didn't it? That's it. I don't know how to talk to people. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know. I just graduated college, and some lady, she found out because we were talking, and she's like, oh, you look too young to have just graduated college. I was like, well, you look too old to be alive. You're not supposed to do that. I don't know, like, I don't know how to talk to anyone. Like guys, I'm really bad at talking to guys. Like, I had this one guy, he had come up to me, and he was like, oh, you're really pretty. I was like, thanks, the operation went really well. I never seen someone run away so fast. It's so weird. And then there's this one thing, there's a lot of ladies in here. Has anyone ever done this to you? These guys that go, hey. Like, what is that? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, some guy walked over to me at the bar, he's like, hey. So, like, apparently the appropriate reaction to that is not. All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Woo! Still got out here before they finished. That was fantastic. Thanks, guys. Now I'm all out of breath. Backstage, 10 feet. I need to exercise. I'm trying to lose weight. I lost 15 pounds on this diet. Don't clap. Because it's a horrible amount. No one's even noticed. In fact, one time I was in a group and someone was like, "Hey, looks like you've lost some weight. What have you been doing?" And I was about to be like, "Oh, thanks for noticing." But someone else in the circle of friends immediately just called him out. "No, he hasn't lost any weight. What are you talking about?" I'm trying. I'm eating one less bowl of cereal at 2 a.m. That's what I'm doing. That's my new diet plan. Ladies and gentlemen, our next comic, you've seen him on Last Comic Standing, Comedy Central, and the TV Land original sitcom, retired at 35. Please welcome here to Acme, Josh McDermott.
Yeah, finally some eye candy, huh? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of having a bit of a fat day. Not doing too good. All right? I used to weigh 300 pounds. Not anymore. 298, bitches. Shit. Oh, God. I think at my heaviest, I was like 325, give or take another 30 pounds. And this is how I knew I had a problem. Like, this is when I knew I hit rock bottom. I was driving to work, and I stopped off at the store, and I bought a large cheesecake, and I ate the whole thing while I drove to work. That's how fat I was. I had nothing to eat it with, so I had to use a CD. I'm not going to use my bare hands. I'm not an animal. Okay, hello, Uncle Cracker. You've been useless since 2003. Welcome back. Like Josh was saying, man, I'm in the same boat, man. I want to lose the weight. I got a personal trainer. And the first thing this guy says to me, he's like, "Josh, listen, you got to come out. You got to make a lifestyle change if you want to lose the weight like I did." And I was like, "Well, I don't know how much weight I actually want to lose since my lifestyle is heterosexual. I mean, how much weight can I lose as a bisexual? I'll meet you halfway for better health." You put me in a spin class, that instructor just yelled at me the whole time. They're like, "Josh, get off that woman's handlebars, get your own bike." I'm just sitting there eating my fajita. No, I'm thirsty. That type of shit, man. I guarantee if you ladies, if you stay the night with me, it's not going to be the best night of your life. I can guarantee that right now, okay? Not going to be twittering in the morning, "Oh my God, I had a great time with Josh last night. He smells like pancakes." But I will make it up to you in the morning with 2 words: grab bag. Ladies, think about how many guys you've been with had a grab bag in the morning. How awesome is that? "Hey, Lisa, why don't you stop by the treasure chest on your way out? You get 2 items. The anticipation these ladies have digging through, "Oh my God, what's it going to be? A plastic lizard, a paddleboard, oh, vampire teeth." This one time in the grab bag, all I put in there were pregnancy tests. Yeah, I know I'm not a looker. I get it. I got freckles all over my body. Like, and I didn't want my freckles growing up. I went to my grandpa. My grandpa's only goal in life was to mess with his grandkids. And I went to my grandpa. I said, "Grandpa, how do I get rid of my freckles?" He goes, "Oh yeah, sandpaper." Like, you gotta believe Grandpa, right? I'm in the garage scrubbing away, crying and bleeding. And he comes out, he goes, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "You said to use sandpaper." He goes, "You're an idiot. You need to use a belt sander." It was sad. Grandpa passed on, and he didn't leave any instructions for our family, and we just started a fight over what we should do with him. Like, we didn't know whether to bury him or cremate him. And then we compromised. We set his coffin on fire at the funeral. It was gorgeous. You know the cool thing about setting a coffin on fire at a funeral? S'mores. I like to mess with people like my grandpa did. I was on a date with a girl. She was like overly positive. Like, I like positivity, but this chick took it a little too far, you know? And like, I was like, "Nah, I don't really like this too." Like, you know those people that are just a little too positive? Like, she does this a couple times a day, you know? She like puts her hands on her hips. Like she's Mary Lou Retton or something, I don't know. And I was on like a date with her, and we're sitting there, and I'm just like, "Oh my God, I can't stand this chick. I just want to mess with her at this point," because I knew I didn't want to go out with her again. And at one point during the lunch, she goes, "Josh, what's your favorite holiday song?" Like, who the hell asks that, you know? I'm like, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite holiday song. She goes, "What? Come on, everybody's got a favorite holiday song. What's your favorite Christmas song?" I was like, oh, someone needs to take this bitch down a notch. I don't like Christmas music because my fiance was killed by a drunk driver while we were out looking at Christmas lights, so the music brings back too many memories. And it was awesome because she was like, oh. I was like, yeah, all right. And then she goes, well, did they at least catch the drunk driver? I go, yeah, I mean, I got off easy. I only got probation, so boom. Eat your ribs. That's what we were eating for lunch. Have you seen at the grocery stores, they got the expectant mother parking? Have you guys seen that? That's cool. You think they have that at abortion clinics? You think when they come back out, there's a parking ticket? Whenever somebody asks me, like, hey, Josh, what time should I call you? I always tell them to call me at 9/11 because I don't ever want them to forget to call. That's stupid, I know, but we just had the 10-year like anniversary to remember, and like all the like they had all these specials going on, and like it was so like 9/11's become political, and it's like it hurts, you know. Remember we were all like together on it. We're like, oh, fuck the Arabs, you know. But now it's like now everyone's trying to use it for political gain. It's to the point I almost wish it never happened, you know. I'm a dick. I met a girl with braces and she gave me a blowjob. It was awesome. And then I told her to take them off, but then she couldn't walk. So I'm even more of a dick than I was in the last joke. Do you see what I'm doing there? I was on a plane recently, because that's what comics do. They're on planes recently. And I was... I just improv that line, and then you laughing made me laugh. Thanks, drummer. I'm scared to death of flying. Like I used to love flying. And now I'm just like every little turbulence. I'm like, shit, we're going down. But I started to think like, I bet you if you're actually going down in a plane crash, because who's gonna know? I bet you God is a cool enough God that He just takes away all fear from the passengers, and He turns that into the best ride of their lives. It's like an awesome roller coaster ride. They're going down just, and then they die at the end. And then they get up to heaven and they got the booth where they've taken their photo on the ride, and they're like, oh, my hair looks like crap. That was a huge punchline that got zilch. Everybody on the internet. I went to a psychic recently, and I was a little nervous, you know, because I'd never been to a psychic. And but this guy was kind of cool. I totally recommend him. He's down here in La Brea. The first thing he does, he sits me down. He's like, Josh, hey, listen, I know who the next person is you're going to sleep with. I was like, oh, hell yeah, who? And then he raped me. And you guys have been a lot of fun. Thanks a lot.
All right, I was on a plane recently, because I'm a comedian, as Josh just said. I fly Southwest, which makes sense, because I love public transportation. Southwest is the public transportation of the skies. I fly home to Seattle, and they're like, yeah, we're flying over San Jose. Ding, ding. All right, we're going to stop in San Jose and Sacramento, then Stockton and Portland. Then we're going to go to Phoenix first, and then back up to Seattle. It's like, oh, can I get a direct flight? Yeah, you can, but it'll cost $300 to travel all the way around the country and back. $50. $50 in Southwest to make 18 stops. It's all fees, guys. That's how they get you. The airlines with their fees, right? It's like, remember when there was no fees? Yeah, plane tickets cost $500. Now they cost $99 plus the fees. It's math. It's math, folks. People, bank fees. I get charged to use my own money at the ATM. No, you get charged to use the ATM. If it was your own money, you'd just keep cash in your wallet, like an adult. Charge for money. Folks, our next lovely comedian is absolutely lovely. She's a writer on SaySomethingFunnyBitch.com and ET Online. Please welcome here to ACME, Rebecca LEIB.
Okay, I'm Rebecca LEIB. and those of you might know me for being really good at comedy, but I'm going to do something a little different for you today. I'm also a poet, and I've been writing a lot of haiku lately. Not so much like your average, like garden variety haiku, but like transcendental type, mind-blowingly awesome deluxe haiku about tattoos. I'm a little nervous because there's like 45 screens in here, and I have a piece of recycled paper that I'm reading off of. So that's great. Anyway, I've been really consumed with tattoos emotionally, not so much physically. I don't have any, but emotionally. And so I have this PowerPoint that I made to show you a little bit of the cross-section of tattoo haiku that I've been doing. Where is that? Oh, there's me. Okay, it's called This Is Our Humanity, Haiku Redemption and American Individualism by Rebecca Lee. That's me. Okay, first slide. Here's my haiku. Hey, chicken wing girl, chicken heaven is calling. I say fight or flight. Next slide. Unicorn tribal, you sing the songs of yore, proud songs of your shit. Next slide. Excuse me. Truth is subjective, back knee is objective, doubts like pulled honey pork. Next slide. Half of a six-pack. I'm not sure who will be my monster king. Oh wait, no, that's not the right one. That's just my favorite fruit. Sorry, it's the grapefruit. Next slide. Oh, okay, here we go. But you already know that one now. I'll do it again anyway. Half of a six-pack. I'm not sure who will be my monster king. Did it work better the second time around? Excellent. Next slide. Whoa, dude, don't point that at me. At the bar, you might just get my number. We dated for 2 weeks. Next slide. Badass like Star Wars. Did you have a friend do this? Badass like Star Wars. Next slide. Yes. Don't be too upset about failing out of your area junior college. Next slide. Yeah, it gets real. There's like 42 screens here. Passable siren, eyeing me at the sports bar. Where are your kids at? Next slide. Oh, that's the poster for Four Colored Girls. Someone back there really like that. Next slide. Marriage is a vast series of binding gestures. Which one is the man? That was a serious one. Next slide. This was written on September 11th, etched. The delicate course of history displayed on backs and car windshields. I also did that guy. Next slide. I like modern film, so give me a tattoo of feces eating, please. Next slide. Oh, this one I don't have, so I'm going to do one for you live right here. Proud Indian man, topless, we stole your land, but not your corn dog. That was a haiku, you guys, written live for you. All right, next slide. This is a cabin. And that's my slideshow, you guys. All right, copyrighted, so you can't use it. That's not part of my slideshow. But thank you all so much.
Hey!
back there, I'm the last comic, so you guys can breathe out. Hey, where are you? Right
Hey,
here.
how's it going?
Give him my opening real quick, and all right.
All right. Did you bring out your card? Because I did forget that. Brad just asked me to do 10 minutes about how riding the bus sucks. Is that okay if I do that, Brad?
No.
All right. Brad's going to do 10 minutes about how riding the bus sucks. Brad's a good friend of mine. We used to show up in room 5 together. Now he's gone on to fame but not fortune, opening for John Lovitz, The Temptations, and Joan Rivers. Please welcome him here tonight, Mr. Brad Stewart.
Hey! Yeah! You guys might recognize me from 10 seconds ago when I came out before Josh. That might be all though. I realized this recently. You should not get drunk and go on iTunes. I wake up with some surprising choices the next morning. I'm like, really? I really needed Rat's whole catalog, including the new stuff. I really had to get all that. Sometimes I get wasted and go like, I grew up in the 80s, so I'll get drunk and think of all these obscure bands that I liked in the 80s. I'm like, wonder what Taikedo's up to, Google. That was one joke for my one friend who remembers Taikedo. But I go backwards now in music because so much new music just drives me crazy. Like Katy Perry, and really that's our music celebrities now. Katy Perry, she's just so obnoxious. Like first of all, you listen to her song titles, and it's like her first hit song was "I Kissed a Girl," which is a song title from Jill Solebule like 17 years ago. And then she had California Girls, which was obviously a Beach Boys song title. She had like Teenage Dream, which is a T-Rex song title. Like what's her next song? Freebird? I mean, fuck, come on. And the California Girls was just so obnoxious when you first heard it. At first it was super catchy, but it was just like, it just sounds like a bunch of like California vapid twat girls singing, like getting wasted and just singing around the room. Like, oh, California Girls! That's right, we're unforgettable. Daisy Dukes, bikini on top. Ah. But I Kissed a Girl, that was the most obnoxious, because it came out in like 2009, and all the media was talking about how provocative it was. Oh, it's so provocative. I kissed a girl. I'm like, that's not provocative. Maybe she wrote I fist a girl. Maybe that would be a little provocative. But also it's like, I kissed a girl. That only like a girl like Katy Perry could sing a song like that and people would go, oh, that's awesome. You imagine some guy that experimented in his life at some point singing a song about that. You know, like, I blew a guy, didn't like it. I'm filled with shame and regret. You guys are so happy this show's almost over, aren't you? That your silence means yes, I hope you know that. But I go backwards now, though. I got obsessed with the Rolling Stones like a year ago. Like, I mean, I love the Rolling Stones, or like liked, appreciated them. Now I'm like obsessed with them because I read Keith Richards' biography. And there's just so many cool stories in there. Like, you know, Keith Richards wrote Satisfaction in his sleep. He was like on tour. They were like in some like hotel in like Florida or something. And like he just put a tape in, totally doesn't remember this at all. He's just like, wah, 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 wah. Totally forgot. Woke up the next day, played it, and it's really fucking good, you know, like huge, one of the biggest hits ever. And you know someone's cool when stories about them sleeping are cool. And I saw a video of Keith Richards on YouTube too. I want to talk to you guys too because you'll appreciate this. On YouTube, it's like in the early 80s. And Keith is playing Satisfaction, and some crazy fan just runs on the stage, like running at him. He's like in the middle, like wah, 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 sees the guy, takes off his guitar, hits the guy with his guitar, straps it back on, doesn't miss a note. Wah, 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 wah. Now that's awesome. They say like a lot of comedians want to be rock stars. It's because of like that. Like a comedian couldn't do that. That wouldn't work. There's no like old video of Rodney Dangerfield like, hey, my wife's a terrible cook. Oh. How do you get bones and toast? It doesn't work like that. But I opened for Joan Rivers regularly, and I was opening for her in Atlantic City, and it was a little rough. Wasn't as good as normal. And I was feeling really bad, and there's this drunk guy and his wife in the front row, and they kept heckling me, trying to talk to me the whole time. But I just started opening for Joan, and I was just really nervous about, you know, like, taking him out, like, just, I thought I could say the wittiest, funniest thing to him, and they would just encourage him. So I did my 25 minutes, and I got out of there. But like 15 minutes into, his wife is going like, all right, are you done? are you done? You know, I'm like, oh, like I get off stage and I think I should have said, that's what you see to your alcoholic husband, but no, I didn't think of that part. I thought of that later. But I'm walking off stage and Joan's walking on, and she usually laughs and smiles and passes me on the back. She just looks pissed. And I'm like, oh, I fucked up. I should have done better. I shouldn't, you know. No, she saw how shitty these people were in the front row, especially this one drunk guy. And he starts trying to talk to her. And she's like, you've obviously had too much to drink, sir. Let me see you drink. He hands up this like half full plastic cup. She looks at it, dumps it in his lap, throws the cup at his head. She goes, I want this fucker out of here. I'm serious. I'm walking off the fucking stage and I'm not coming back till he's fucking gone. She walks off the stage. The security comes, takes him and his cunt wife out, and then everyone goes nuts when she comes back. Everyone just goes crazy. And I'm watching that and I'm going, there's the equivalent. Joan Rivers is like the Keith Richards of comedy. And both their faces have dramatically changed from when they started out. But the thing that bothers me the most about mainstream music now is country music. What's country music now? It's not. It's like pop music. They're just saying, it's pop, Lady Antebellum, you're pop music, but we're going to show you on country radio too, because you kind of grew up around country areas, and we'll make more money off of you. Because Lady Antebellum, like Taylor Swift, that's not country. I like Taylor Swift. I don't know where Narnia she came from. She looks like a little wood nymph, doesn't she? Like, she's like a little fairy. She's going to grant you a wish. But I don't understand, like Lady Antebellum, that I Need You Now song. That was like the biggest song last year. They put it on country radio. I like real country, you know, like Johnny Cash and Patsy Cline and Willie Nelson, and like people that lived hard lives and sang them. Like they say, you play a real country song backwards, like your dog comes back and your truck gets fixed and your wife comes back, you know. But it's dark, you know, because it was real life shit, you know. Like I want to hear, like, I told her after one. That's their version of country. Lady Antebellum. Quarter after one. I'm a little drunk and I need you now. Oh, it's a quarter after one, and you're a little drunk. Ooh, what a downward spiral. And I want to hear Johnny Cash in the '60s. I want to hear his country version of that song. Be like, quarter after four, coked up with a whore and I need you now. That joke usually does a lot better. That's all I'm going to end with, so start clapping because the show's over and you guys are great. Thank you. Josh.
For Elemental P and all the comics you've seen tonight, thank you so much for joining us at the Famous ACME Comedy Hollywood. From Hollywood Stands Up Comedy Nightcap. Elemental P, play us out.